What if the strength you thought was gone forever isn't gone at all? What if it's just waiting to be reawakened?
Let me tell you about a woman named Sharon. For 40 years, Sharon was a second-grade teacher in a small town in Pennsylvania. Her life was a whirlwind of motion, kneeling to tie a shoelace, carrying stacks of books, and demonstrating how to properly hold a kickball with a perfect, energetic throw. Her garden wasn't just a hobby. It was her sanctuary, a place where she felt grounded, strong, and connected to the earth. Her pride was in her hands, in the things they could create, fix, and nurture. But then, slowly at first, a thief began to visit. It didn't announce itself. It arrived in whispers. It started with the pickle jar she suddenly couldn't open. Its stubborn lid a small, infuriating symbol of a newfound helplessness. Then, it was the ache in her legs after climbing the stairs, a deep, burning fatigue that felt entirely new. This wasn't just getting older. This was a fading. It was the quiet, relentless creep of muscle loss, of sarcopenia, stealing the very essence of her independence. The erosion of her strength became a daily battle fought in silence. One sunny afternoon, her 6-year-old grandson Leo ran to her, his arms outstretched. "Up, Grandma, up," he squealed, a request she had granted 1,000 times before. But this time, a flicker of panic shot through her. She bent down, her arms trembling as she tried to lift his small, 30-pound body. She couldn't. A sharp pain seared through her lower back, and she had to disguise her wince as a chuckle, ruffling his hair instead. "Grandma's back is a little sleepy today, sweetie," she lied, the words tasting like ash in her mouth. The look of disappointment in his eyes was a heavier weight than he could ever be. Later that week, she found herself just staring at a bag of potting soil by the back door. It was a simple task, carry it to the garden. Yet, it felt like an insurmountable obstacle. She'd try to lift it, feel the weakness in her grip, and give up, leaving it there for her husband to handle later. Each small defeat was a paper cut on her soul, a constant, stinging reminder of the strength that was slipping through her fingers like fine, dry sand. The moment of reckoning came on a quiet Tuesday. She was sitting in her favorite armchair, the one worn smooth by years of reading stories and grading papers. The phone rang in the kitchen. She went to stand up, pushing off the armrests as she always did, and nothing. Her legs felt like water. She pushed again, straining, a grunt escaping her lips. It took 3 attempts, 3 humiliating, exhausting pushes, to finally get to her feet. By the time she reached the kitchen, the phone had stopped ringing. She stood there, alone in the silence, her hand resting on the counter for support. And in that profoundly quiet moment, a single, devastating thought crystallized in her mind. I am becoming a prisoner in my own home. Despair began to set in, but as she stood there, her eyes fell upon a small, framed photograph on the wall. It was her mother, in her late 70s, standing proudly next to a massive tomato plant, holding up a prize-winning tomato with a dirt-smudged, triumphant grin. Her mother had been a force of nature, a woman who believed that strength wasn't something you had, but something you built, every single day. And a new thought, quiet but defiant, pushed through the fog of resignation. She would have found a way. She wouldn't have just accepted this. It wasn't a lightning bolt of inspiration. It was a flicker of a candle in a dark room, but it was enough. It was a choice, a decision that her story was not over yet. Sharon began a quiet revolution, not with some grueling new workout, but in her kitchen. It started with small, deliberate changes to what she put on her plate, focusing on the very building blocks of muscle. Weeks turned into months. The first victory was the potting soil. One morning, she walked to the back door, took a deep breath, bent her knees, and lifted it. It was heavy, yes, but it was manageable. She carried it out to her garden, the simple act feeling like a monumental triumph. Then came the day Leo visited. He ran to her, arms outstretched, with that same hopeful request. This time, Sharon smiled a genuine, confident smile. She scooped him up, her arms strong and steady, and spun him around as he erupted in delighted squeals. The feeling of his small body held securely in her arms. The sound of his pure joy was a feeling she thought she had lost forever. She was no longer a spectator in her own life. She was back in the garden, kneeling without pain, her hands firm as she tended to her beloved plants. She was back in the game. Sharon's story isn't about a miracle. It's about a method. It's a testament to the incredible, often underestimated, power of nutrition to reclaim our strength, our confidence, and our independence at any age. Her journey from feeling like a prisoner in her home to being the queen of her garden was unfueled by a prescription, but by rediscovering the potent building blocks hidden in everyday foods. You might be watching this, feeling that same sense of quiet fading, that same frustration. You've been told it's just a part of aging, but Sharon's story, and the science that backs it up, proves that we have more control than we've been led to believe. What she unlocked is available to every single one of us.
What Sharon tapped into is a fundamental truth that modern science is now confirming with incredible clarity. Our bodies, even in our 70s, 80s and beyond, retain a remarkable ability to rebuild and get stronger. But they need the right raw materials. You've likely been told to eat more protein, but the conversation usually ends there. It's treated as a simple numbers game. The truth, however, is far more nuanced. Not all protein is created equal, especially when it comes to rebuilding muscle after 60. Some sources are good, but others are true game changers. Over the next few minutes, we are going to unpack 6 of these powerful protein sources. We'll start with a foundational fuel many of you already have in your fridge, and we'll build up, step by step, to what I call the Age-Defying Activator, a protein source so effective at stimulating muscle growth in seniors that one clinical trial found it could produce results similar to that of a 25-year-old. You absolutely want to stay for that final reveal. So if you're ready to stop accepting weakness as inevitable and start rebuilding your strength from the inside out, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. We're a community dedicated to putting our health first. And just a quick important reminder, all the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet. Especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are on medication, have informed conversations with your healthcare team. All right, let's begin our journey. Our foundational fuel, Greek yogurt. Let's start with something familiar, a creamy, satisfying staple that's likely already in your refrigerator. Greek yogurt. Many people see it as a simple breakfast food or a healthy snack, and it is. But its true power for those of us over 60 lies in a secret it holds within. It's not just the amount of protein, but the type of protein that makes it so special. The challenge we face as we mature is that our muscles can become less responsive to the signals that tell them to grow and repair. It's a condition experts call anabolic resistance. Therefore, we need not just more protein, but smarter protein that can effectively get that message across. Greek yogurt is packed with a specific kind of protein called casein. To truly grasp how this works, let's use an analogy. Imagine your muscles are a garden that needs watering throughout the day and night. Fast-absorbing proteins like those in some shakes are like a quick downpour. They soak the garden intensely for a short period and then they're gone. But casein protein is like a sophisticated, slow-drip irrigation system. It releases its amino acids, the building blocks of muscle, into your bloodstream slowly and steadily over many hours. This means it's feeding your muscles a constant, gentle trickle of nutrients, preventing them from breaking down, especially during the long overnight hours when most repair happens. In fact, some studies have shown that consuming a casein-rich food like Greek yogurt before bed can boost overnight muscle protein synthesis by up to 22%. It's literally helping your body repair and stay strong while you rest. So how do we use it? The key is to choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt to avoid the added sugars that can cause inflammation and blood sugar spikes. A single serving can contain 15 to 20 grams of high-quality protein. Mix in some berries for antioxidants, a sprinkle of cinnamon to help with blood sugar balance, or some flax seeds for healthy fats and fiber. It's a simple, powerful first step, a true foundational fuel. The budget-friendly powerhouse, lentils. Now that we've established our foundation, let's move on to a humble hero of the pantry, one that proves you don't need to spend a fortune to build serious strength. I'm talking about lentils. There's a persistent myth that plant-based proteins are incomplete or too weak to build real muscle, especially for seniors. But this is a profound misunderstanding of how they work. While it's true that many plant foods don't contain all 9 essential amino acids in one go, the solution is beautifully simple: combination. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to write a sentence, but you only have half the alphabet on one page and the other half on another. Separately, they are incomplete. But when you put the two pages together, you have everything you need to write a masterpiece. This is exactly how lentils work. On their own, they're fantastic. A single cooked cup delivers around 18 grams of protein and a huge dose of fiber. When you combine them with a whole grain like brown rice or a slice of whole wheat bread, you create a complete protein, providing your body with all 9 essential amino acids it needs to kickstart muscle repair. This combination is a powerful signal to your body to begin what's called muscle protein synthesis, the very process Sharon used to rebuild her strength. Therefore, a simple meal of lentil soup with a side of brown rice isn't just a comforting, budget-friendly dinner. It's a potent muscle-building command center. Furthermore, lentils are rich in iron and folate, which are crucial for energy production and oxygen delivery to your muscles. They're also incredibly gentle on the digestive system, unlike some heavy red meats that can leave you feeling bloated. And that high fiber content, it feeds the good bacteria in your gut. A growing body of research, often called the gut-muscle axis, shows a direct link between a healthy gut and your body's ability to absorb protein and maintain muscle mass. It's a win-win-win. Preparing them is effortless. Red lentils cook in just 15 minutes. Simmer them with some vegetable broth and add a dash of turmeric or cumin for their powerful anti-inflammatory benefits. For less than $1 a serving, you have a meal that fuels your muscles, supports your gut, and protects your wallet. The blood sugar stabilizer, black beans. Staying in the plant kingdom, let's talk about another unassuming powerhouse that's probably sitting in your pantry right now. Black beans. Like lentils, they are a fantastic source of protein and fiber. But their unique superpower, especially for aging bodies, is their profound impact on one of the most critical aspects of our health: blood sugar control. As we age, our bodies can become less efficient at managing blood sugar. This is known as insulin resistance, and it can wreak havoc on our energy levels and even accelerate muscle breakdown. Wild spikes and crashes in blood sugar leave you feeling tired, foggy, and weak, making it that much harder to stay active. Here's where black beans work their magic. Let's use an analogy. Imagine your body's energy is delivered by a fleet of race cars, fast, furious, and prone to crashing. This is what happens when you eat simple carbs and sugars. You get a huge burst of energy, followed by a dramatic crash. But the combination of protein, fiber, and resistant starch in black beans is like swapping that fleet of race cars for a steady, powerful freight train. It doesn't give you a crazy jolt of speed. Instead, it delivers a massive amount of energy, slowly, reliably, and over a very long period, with no crash at the end. A single cup of cooked black beans provides about 15 grams of protein and an incredible 15 grams of fiber. This fiber slows down digestion, preventing that rapid spike in blood sugar after a meal. Therefore, your energy levels remain stable, your cravings are reduced, and your body is in a much better state to build rather than break down muscle tissue. They are a triple win. They protect your heart, regulate your blood sugar, and fuel your muscles simultaneously. Unlocking this aspect of your health is another one of the key secrets on our list. To make them a regular part of your routine, buy them canned. Just be sure to rinse them thoroughly to reduce the sodium content. You can mash them into a delicious spread for toast, add them to soups and chilies, or combine them with corn salsa and brown rice for a vibrant, complete protein meal. The overnight repair crew, cottage cheese. All right, let's pivot back to a classic, a food that was a staple long before protein shakes became popular. Let's talk about cottage cheese, and specifically why it's the perfect nighttime snack for muscle repair. You might be thinking, we already talked about casein protein with Greek yogurt, and you're right. But cottage cheese deserves its own spot because of its purity and potency in this specific role. While Greek yogurt is a fantastic all-arounder, low-fat cottage cheese is one of the most concentrated food sources of pure casein protein available. Most of our muscle recovery and rebuilding doesn't happen when we're active. It happens when we're at rest, especially when we sleep. However, if your body doesn't have a ready supply of amino acids during this 8-hour fasting period, it can actually start to break down existing muscle tissue for its needs. This is where our overnight repair crew comes in. Think of your body at night as a construction site where a dedicated crew is working to repair the day's wear and tear. If the supply truck with bricks and mortar, amino acids, doesn't show up, the crew can't do its job. In fact, they might even start taking bricks from other parts of the building to patch up critical areas. Eating a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed is like ensuring that a supply truck arrives at the site and stays there all night, slowly unloading materials for the crew to use. It provides that slow, steady release of casein protein, keeping your muscles in an anabolic or building state rather than a catabolic or breakdown state. One landmark study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that athletes who consumed casein protein right before sleep experienced significantly better muscle recovery and growth. While the study was on athletes, the principle holds true for seniors looking to preserve and build lean muscle. So, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, try a half cup of low-fat cottage cheese. It's light on the stomach and won't disrupt your sleep. You can eat it plain or add some sliced peaches or a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor. It's a simple, strategic habit that puts your body to work rebuilding strength while you dream. The joint-soothing superfood hemp seeds. Now we're moving into territory that might be new for many, but is incredibly promising. Let's talk about a tiny seed with a massive nutritional punch, hemp seeds. First, let's clear the air. When people hear hemp, their minds can go elsewhere. But let's be perfectly clear. Hemp seeds are a nutritional superfood, contain no psychoactive compounds, and are completely safe, legal, and healthy to eat. They are one of the most complete and powerful plant-based proteins on the planet. For seniors, the problem of muscle weakness is often compounded by another issue, joint pain and inflammation. It's hard to stay active and build muscle when your joints are stiff and sore. This is where hemp seeds offer a unique 2-for-1 benefit. Just 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds provide nearly 10 grams of exceptionally digestible protein, including all 9 essential amino acids. Therefore, they are a true complete protein all on their own. But their secret weapon is their ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. Let's use our final analogy here. Imagine the inflammation in your joints is like a small fire that's constantly smoldering. Many foods in the modern diet, high in certain omega-6 fats, are like throwing little bits of kindling on that fire, keeping it going. The omega-3s found in hemp seeds, however, are like a gentle, soothing rain that dampens the flames. They are potent anti-inflammatories. This means that while the high-quality protein in hemp seeds is providing the raw materials to rebuild your muscles, the healthy fats are working in the background to reduce the inflammation that can make movement painful. It's a synergistic effect. Your muscles get fueled and your joints get soothed, making it easier and more comfortable to do the very activities that keep you strong. This strategy is another vital piece to help you unlock that peak vitality we're all striving for. Using them couldn't be easier. They have a pleasant, nutty flavor. Sprinkle them over your oatmeal, add them to your Greek yogurt, or blend them into a morning smoothie. They don't require any cooking and are a simple way to elevate virtually any meal. The Age-Defying Activator, Whey protein. And now, we have arrived at our final and most powerful revelation. We've built a fantastic foundation with whole foods, but if there is one tool that science has shown time and again to be uniquely effective at overcoming the anabolic resistance of aging, it is this one. It's time to talk about whey protein. Now hold on. I know what many of you might be thinking. Whey protein, isn't that for bodybuilders? For young guys at the gym trying to get huge muscles? That is the #1 misconception, and it's what prevents so many seniors from accessing one of the most powerful nutritional tools available for maintaining strength and vitality. Here's the critical truth. As we get older, the switch in our body that tells our muscles to grow becomes rusty. It requires a stronger, more specific signal to turn on. That signal is an amino acid called leucine. Whey protein is the single richest source of leucine on the planet. Think of muscle protein synthesis as a locked door. The foods we've discussed so far are like good, solid keys that can absolutely turn the lock. But whey protein, with its incredibly high concentration of leucine, is like a master key that fits the lock perfectly and turns it with almost no effort. It cuts right through that age-related resistance and sends an immediate, powerful signal to your body: build muscle. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. A clinical trial from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition gave a group of seniors a daily whey protein supplement and found they had muscle growth and synthesis rates comparable to young adults. It essentially helps your muscles respond as if they were decades younger. It's also incredibly easy to digest and absorb, meaning those critical amino acids get to your muscles very quickly, which is perfect for after a walk or any physical activity. It can also help regulate blood sugar levels and support the immune system. For the best results, look for a high-quality whey isolate, which is purer and contains less lactose. Mix 1 scoop, typically 20 to 30 grams of protein, with water or unsweetened almond milk. You can add berries or a little cinnamon to make it a delicious anti-inflammatory shake. Many seniors report feeling a noticeable difference in their energy and strength within just a few weeks. It's not a magic bullet, but it is a scientifically proven ally. This is the truth about protein after 70. And there you have it, the age-defying activator. We saved it for last because it so powerfully illustrates a crucial point. Your body is ready and willing to be strong. We just need to learn how to give it the right signals. So let's take a moment and reflect on the journey we just took. We started with our foundational fuel, Greek yogurt, that works while you sleep. We uncovered the budget-friendly powerhouse in lentils, and its powerful cousin, the blood sugar stabilizer, black beans. We learned about the overnight repair crew in cottage cheese and the incredible dual power of the joint-soothing superfood, hemp seeds. And finally, we revealed the age-defying activator, whey protein, a scientifically proven tool to help you reclaim the strength of your younger self. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being proactive. It's about taking one small, smart step at a time to reclaim your energy, your confidence, and the freedom that comes with a strong, capable body. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Was it the idea of the overnight repair crew, or maybe our ultimate age-defying activator? Let me know in the comments below which one you might try adding to your meals this week. If you found this journey valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps our community grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more science-backed strategies to help you feel stronger and healthier, no matter your age. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep thriving.